I never thought I'd find myself in such a twisted and suspenseful tale, but here I am, living a nightmare I can't escape. My name is Alex, and I've been married to Sarah for 5 years. To anyone looking from the outside, we were the perfect couple. Successful, charming, and madly in love. But beneath the facade of our happy marriage, a dangerous affair had taken root. It all began innocently enough, as these things often do. I met Rachel at a charity event. She was the kind of woman who could make any man's heart race with just a smile. Dark hair, piercing green eyes, and an air of mystery about her that was impossible to resist. We exchanged numbers, and what started as a few casual texts quickly escalated into something more. Rachel was the opposite of Sarah in every way. While Sarah was warm and nurturing, Rachel was passionate and daring. I found myself drawn to her like a moth to a flame. We began meeting in secret, always in different places to avoid suspicion. Our stolen moments were filled with lust and excitement, a stark contrast to the routine of my married life. As the affair continued, the thrill began to wear off, and guilt crept in. I started to feel like I was living a double life, and it was tearing me apart. Sarah began to suspect something was wrong, but I managed to convince her that it was just work stress. She believed me, but the tension in our marriage was palpable. One evening, as I was preparing to leave for another rendezvous with Rachel, Sarah stopped me. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she begged me to stay. She said she knew something was wrong, that she could feel the distance growing between us. I almost confessed, but the fear of losing her kept my secret intact. I left the house that night, torn between two worlds. The affair with Rachel had become a dangerous addiction, and I couldn't seem to break free. But my guilt and love for Sarah were eating me alive. I needed to make a choice, and it had to be soon. A few weeks later, I received a cryptic text from Rachel. It read, "We need to talk. Meet me at the old abandoned factory by the river tonight." The message sent shivers down my spine, and I couldn't help but wonder if she had discovered my secret. I arrived at the factory that night, my heart pounding in my chest. The place was eerie, shrouded in darkness, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. I called out for Rachel, but there was no response. The silence was deafening. As I cautiously explored the factory, I stumbled upon a scene that would haunt my nightmares for years to come. Rachel lay lifeless on the ground, a pool of blood surrounding her. Panic coursed through my veins as I realized I was the prime suspect in her murder. Without thinking, I called the police and reported the gruesome discovery. They arrived quickly, and I was immediately taken into custody. My life unraveled before my eyes as I was charged with Rachel's murder. The trial was a nightmare, and the evidence against me seemed insurmountable. Sarah stood by my side, believing in my innocence despite the overwhelming odds. As the days turned into weeks, I began to piece together the truth. It turned out Rachel had been leading a dangerous double life of her own. She had been involved with a powerful and dangerous criminal organization. They had discovered our affair and saw it as a threat. Rachel had reached out to them in an attempt to protect me, but it had cost her life. The organization had framed me for her murder, hoping to silence me forever. It was a race against time to uncover the truth and clear my name before it was too late. With the help of a tenacious defense attorney and a few unlikely allies, we uncovered the web of deceit that had ensnared us. In a dramatic courtroom showdown, the true culprits were exposed, and I was acquitted of all charges. But the scars of that dark period in my life still lingered. My marriage to Sarah was forever changed, and the guilt of the affair and the trauma of the murder trial haunted me. As I reflect on those harrowing days, I can't help but wonder if it was all worth it. The affair had pushed me to the brink of destruction, and the price of that secret had been higher than I ever could have imagined. In the end, I had to confront the darkness within myself and ask if the thrill of the affair was worth the suspense, danger, and tragedy that followed.